Welcome to this water conservation that has been taken from the Kurukshetra magazine of October 2020. So don't assume that it is relevant for this particular month or particular year. This water conservation strategy is almost similar from the decades, and as per the new technologies are coming, so we will see come different changes in the conservation mechanism, but everything will be the same. So the topics or the contents that has been taken for this lecture will be completely relevant from your exams perspective, that it has not been a views of my personal opinion or from any third party source. It is from the Kurukshetra magazine, which is a recognizable one. So moving ahead with this lecture, I will request you to please subscribe this channel, because this is a new channel and your subscription is a form of payment for me, and I request you to please go through this lecture till the end so that you will have a complete picture related to the topic. Moving ahead, so what is the context relating to the water conservation? So as per the urban development is going on, we have a system of concretization. Concretization means that the development is going on the concrete structure, and this concrete structure does not allow water to percolate down, to be absorbed for the ground water, so that is the problem. So now we will see that what exactly is the issue. So the context this topic has been taken, as India is generating 140 billion cubic meter of wastewater annually. 140 billion meter cube of wastewater is generated by India, and mismanagement of those wastewater, which also contaminates our groundwater. See, groundwater is the source of pure water for us right now, and these groundwater are also getting contaminated. So the lacking of liquid waste management, poor sanitation conditions, and the poor hygiene habits have contributed to a major portion of population suffering from waterborne disease. Okay, so from this source, from this 140 billion cubic meter of wastewater generation and the mismanagement of it, this topic has been taken, and we will see from the different section of this relevant concept. So what are the key facts related to this issue? The per person disease burden due to unsafe water and the sanitation was 40 times higher in India than in China, and 12 times higher than in Sri Lanka in the 2006 data. So as per the 2016 data, the per person burden to the unsafe water for the India in how much time higher? 40 times. Just see the 40 times. And if we compare with the Sri Lanka also, we are higher at 12 times. So that thing you should remember, that will act as a key fact for your essays and all. The disease burden from the unsafe water and the sanitation was 5% of the total 2016, and as per the Global Health Organization, that Global Health Observatory data repository of the World Health Organization WHO quotes the number of diarrhea deaths from the inadequate water, that not clean water, the water contaminated water with the sewage and all, sanitation and the hygiene was 2,43,551 total of the all age group. So as per the global data repository, the number of diarrhea deaths that happened due to the inadequate water and the sanitation and all in that related to this diarrhea was 2,43,551. Okay, so the water conservation as per the Constitution of India, we will see that as per the Constitution of India, water and the sanitation are state subject, that it will come under a state subject. It won't come under the central legislation. Central legislation can give the directives related to it, but the implementation will be done by the state government only. And there have been many times the direction have been given, but the implementation varies state to state. Okay, so in the state subject that is listed under the list 2 of the 7th schedule, okay, the central government plays an advisory role. It means what? Central government can give directives related to it. It won't implement it because it comes under the state subject. So the state government will act as a advisory role, and therefore with the formulation of the various policies and the model base, the center is making efforts to develop and manage the products. But the problem is that all the states are not complying with all those procedures and the steps, and there you will see a variation between the implementation of the policies. So in the 2019, the Prime Minister launched the Jal Jeevan Mission worth rupees 3.6 lakh crore to supply piped water to every rural household. And right now I am in the 2020, in my village also this household water has been supplied. So it also implements source sustainability measures as mandatory elements such as recharge, reuses through the groundwater management, water conservation and the rainwater harvesting. The Jal Jeevan Mission is based on the community approach to water and include extensive conservations as the steps for it. And when we see that different schemes have been implemented, like for this conservation of water, that earlier it was seen that government started to give free electricity to the agriculture households for the agriculture and all. Then it was absorbed that water was not utilized in an efficient manner, that electricity was started to be used for the personal households, and many times it was seen that water was just flowing without any use. It is coming on the roadside and all, and at last that water being evaporated or will contaminate with the other pipes and all. So to make a people responsible, government divided the electric supply and government started to charge. Yes, the charge is very less, but to make people responsible, government started to charge, and it was appreciated by the natural people and the organizations, NGOs and all, that government has taken good step to make people reliable. Because when the electricity was free, the farmers used to utilize that electricity, and the water from the underground water was just flowing out. That was just a wastage of water. Okay, so Atal Bhujal Yojana plays a key role in drought proofing area, thereby improving the climate resilience in the select water stressed area, creating jobs opportunities and all, improved skill development, etc. So all these will be have a sustainable management. Okay, so Niti Aayog and all that. Niti Aayog also talks about the removing the poverty. So poverty is what, that health should be more, that everything you can connect all those issues with everything. So water, sanitation, cleans, life energy, good health, so all will come as your sustainable development. Okay, in pursuit of competitive and cooperative federalism, keeping in view the criticality of water of life, Niti Aayog has developed a composite water management index that will measure how critical the water supply or the water quality is. So some states initiated programs which solve the local water problem, such as Jal Yukt Shivar in Maharashtra, Mukhyamantri Jal Swalambhan Abhiyan in Rajasthan, Neeru Chetu in Andhra Pradesh. And it is an important tool, that CWMI, that index, to improve the performance of state of union territories efficient management of water in the resources. So it will, like that index will be launched, different states will measure their water, and it will create a competition kind of things. So all the states will come together and participate in it and try to improve the water quality of their area. Okay, so what is the way forward? In order to achieve the sustainable development in the country, we have to look solution which may result in the overhauling of the present improve the present water quality and all. Improved water supply and sanitation, improved water resource management boost country's economic growth and contribute greatly to the poverty eradication. We have to eradicate poverty by the 2030 as per the Niti Aayog. It is a high time that along with the public good, water should be treated as a high value economic good, because it has been said that the next world war till 2050 will be on water, and that China has taken into care, and China is doing very well and planning all those areas with it. So that's why it want to occupy all those areas and related to the petroleum and all. So next world war, it has been said that the next world war will fight for the water. So you can understand the importance of water. There is a need to introduce water markets to make more productive use of water and contribute sustainable water management, and the cost of water security has to be distributed to the different stakeholders and entities community which are harming the resources have to be paid for the high to the polluter. So it means what the company, the industries that are utilizing the water more, that are polluting the water more, that are dumping the pollutants in our environment more, that has to be responsible, that has to be pay the charge for all those activities. The pollution tax should be regarded as a part of extended producer responsibility. So it means what these taxes, these responsibilities are giving, so that they will start to use the water as a sustainable manner, in a sustainable manner. Okay. The new strategies to support the public-private partnership in the water sector. Government can play a role in helping to attract new investors by enabling the public and private sector to earn and return the risk they take, so that the foreign companies will come invest into that, and the conservation around in that give new technologies related to it, and so that the implementation will be there. People will come, people will know about all those labor, jobs will be created, and ultimately our environment will be improved, so that like industries are dumping waste into the water. So what will happen? Foreign companies will have a greater technology, so that they will help those countries, so that they will help those companies in checking the water, in treating the water in the less cost effective manner. Okay. Governments may consider providing risk mitigation to long-term investment projects where it would result in a more appropriate allocation of risk and their associated returns, and similarly the public money can be used to cover parts of the risk and the private financer and the unable to take. So it is like that public money should cover all those risk factors. For the private sectors also, private sectors when they are coming into it, they think always about profit. So it should be that they should be complying with our government rules in a sustainable manner. They should be take care for the environment too. So that is the whole motive. So everybody should be responsible, and our foreign investment will be increased. So what is the conclusion? So all these structural reforms, if implemented in phase wise, it should not be like that all things will be implemented at once. So it will be a burden for a public, a community to adopt it. Okay. So all these structural reforms, if implemented in the phase and the detailed manner, they immensely benefited the existing programs and schemes of the both central and the state government. So both will benefit together, and it will decrease the overall dependency of the government sector and make the self-reliant. The people should be self-reliant, the company should be self-reliant. Whatever the company is doing, they should be self-reliant. They should not dump those waste without checking it. So it should be that we should become the self-reliant and attractive and profitable for the number of investors, which is crux for the growth of not only any sector but the entire country, if they are coming with any kind of technologies implementing in those countries in checking those waters and all. So it is like the dependency on the government will reduce if you are becoming self-reliant. If the companies are getting self-reliant, that company will want other foreign companies to come into my industry, check those our industry, what are the flaws in our design, clear it. So it means what? Company is becoming self-reliant, private companies are becoming self-reliant, they are going for the sustainable development. It means what? The load on the government will decrease. So some more points that we have to look. So water is considered as a resource which is used for various purposes like drinking, industrial activity, religious ceremonies, etc. So resources can be divided into two: surface lake and groundwater aquifers. Surface lake, rivers and lakes, and groundwater aquifers. So there is one term I forgetting, Latin and something lot. We will see in the another lecture. So mismanagement leads to pollution. So if you are mismanaging with the water, pollutants and all, it means what? You are creating pollutants in the water, eutrophication will present, and ultimately the aqueous animals, the water animals, aquatic animals will be affected. So contamination and scarcity of water will be there. So I have explained a Ganga lecture. You can go on my channel, you can watch that Namami Gange programs and all, where I have discussed more in detail with related to it. So you will understand more deeper. You will have a more points to write in the essays and all. So Jal Shakti Abhiyan mission. So this mass movement to bring all the stakeholders under one ambit of water conservation during implemented in 2019, and it was run in two phases. As per the southwest monsoon, and northeast monsoon, that will be a retreating monsoon, the 256 water state districts were identified and implemented, and it included water conservation and rainwater harvesting, renovation, traditional and other water body tanks, watershed development, then water checking, that wetlands and all should be implemented, so that the water checking will be done, our groundwater will be recharged. So any area where water is collected, these watershed are divided as per the water capacity, recharge, and the reuse structure. Intensive afforestation, it will have a significant impact on the soil, thus afforestation is promoted through this Jal Shakti Abhiyan. So what is the way forward? So increase budget allocation, priority sector investing. So priority sector investing should be there, private sector will be coming into it, so FDI investment will be there, so our economy will also improve further, employment will be generated, and the skilling of the labor will be there. So water should be treated as a high value economic, need to introduce water market to make more productive use of water and contribute to sustainable water management. So sustainability is the key for further development of our country or for the world. So one point you have to remember, Jal Shakti Abhiyan mission, that was the mass movement to bring the stakeholders under ambit of water conservation in 2019. So make a member of this mission, that Jal Shakti Abhiyan mission. Okay, so I hope you have liked this video. Please like and subscribe. Your subscription is a form of payment for me. Further, it is a new channel, so I need your support. If you have any doubt, if you want any on-demand video lecture, please feel free to ping on my Twitter handle. The link is given in the description. Thank you.